My panel is back, and we're going to use this last block to talk about somebody who is on fire on the campaign trail. Watch this.
I've been reading up on some of these candidates on the other side. Lord have mercy. This current crop of Republican politicians, they're not interested in solving problems. They're interested in making you angry and then finding somebody to blame. And they're hoping that that'll distract you from the fact that they don't have any answers of their own. They had long hours and sore backs and bad knees to get that Social Security. And if Ron Johnson does not understand that, if he understands giving tax breaks for private planes more than he understands making sure that seniors who've worked all their lives are able to retire with dignity and respect, he's not the person who's thinking about you and knows you and sees you, and he should not be your senator from Wisconsin.
I mean, on fire. So, Yamiche, I'm going to ask you the question that I asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Why is the former president out there making that, particularly that last point on Social Security, and not the current president?
Well, we know that former President Obama is more popular than the current president. Based on the polling that I've seen, he is wildly popular in the Democratic Party. I think he's also out there because he understands it, and I've been talking to Democratic strategists. They want him out there. They are saying, yes, I understand you did 8 years here, but we're going to need you out here to motivate people because the polls are showing that Republicans are having also the momentum behind them. I'll also say he's out there because there was 2010 where when he was president, they had a really bad, Democrats that is, had a very bad midterm season where he lost control of the House, and it really in some ways hammered his presidency. He was not able to do the things that he wanted to do going forward because he didn't have the control in the House and the Senate that he needed to pass things. So I think you also have both the fact that he's popular and the fact that he has some experience. He knows what it is to be a president when you cannot pass legislation only by executive order. So in some ways it tells you that the Democrats understand the issues at hand. And there is, obviously President Biden's going to be out there. He's been shifting his messaging, talking about Social Security. But I think it just tells you that Obama has a little bit of the swagger, and that's what they want to see Democrats out there to motivate people.
And I mean, this is clearly something that the administration wants. When you've got an A-teamer like that who's willing to go out there on the campaign trail and be on fire like he was in Michigan and Wisconsin, you let him go. But Congresswoman Edwards, what do you think about the star power, the utility of Barack Obama on the campaign trail?
Well, the former president was in his element. He has the ability both to communicate a message, to talk to people in language that they understand, to make them laugh, and then to excite them. Those are all the things that Democrats need to make sure that Democratic voters show up at the polls and that they vote. And he does remember well, in his words, that shellacking, and he doesn't want President Biden to experience that again. I think Democrats are right. You put your best team on the field, and President Obama is the best team, and it's important for him to be out there. Candidates want him out there. The voters want him out there. And if that's enough to get that extra 1 or 2% out to turn those votes, then I think it's the right thing to do.
And Sophia, so you've got former President Barack Obama out there firing up the base. I'm just wondering, who fires up their base more? Barack Obama with the Democratic base or Donald Trump with the Republican base? Because he's going to hit the campaign trail in the closing hours of the midterm elections.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a both and, right? Obama certainly inspires not just Democratic voters, but I think independent voters who became what I call those purple voters, people like me who were lifelong moderate Republicans and who had never voted for a Democrat before until Obama in 2008, right? And then I think on the Trump side, that fringe base that is really, really in that Trump camp, he inspires them, but I think he turns off moderates and independent voters. So I think Obama probably gets the edge in states like Georgia and other places that are going to be close, right? I think those independent voters, if they see Trump, they might run for the hills, versus if they see Obama, I think it makes them more inclined to pull the D-lip.
What do you think about that, Donna? Sophia's assessment?
I agree with that. I mean, this race is going to be won by persuading independent voters, those suburban women that we've spent so much time talking about. And there is where I think that President Obama has an edge over former President Trump. And I think the important thing here is going to be on the margins. At 1 or 2% of voters, those fall within the independents. But we also need the base to show out, and so Obama fills a lot of those categories. And frankly, I've talked to a number of Republicans who are Trump supporters who actually don't want to see him out on the campaign trail. And so I think you got to weigh that. But I'd give Obama the edge on this one.
You know, Jonathan, if I could kick in really quickly.
Real quick.
Yeah, here in Virginia, 7, I think it is, the candidate that got endorsed by Trump, the Republican, doesn't want to talk about that. It's the race against Abigail Spanberger. And so I think that's exactly Donna's point, right? That the Trump people want the endorsement, but they don't want to talk about the fact that they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Republicans want to stay in Trump's good graces,
right,
so they're not attacked. And then, of course, Democrats are hoping that they can that the situation is a little bit better than what Chuck Schumer said to President Biden, which is that they're looking, and Democrats are looking at Georgia, thinking maybe Herschel Walker is going to have the edge, but maybe Philadelphia is a little bit better and Pennsylvania is a little bit better. I think we'll really see the answer to that very critical question, Jonathan, that you just posed on Election Day: who actually turns out?
Right. President Obama, again, was in Michigan and Wisconsin yesterday. We did not play the very best soundbite. I'm just going to read it. Obama, I'm getting old and gray. Black lady, behind him, you find then a... Can't say it on Sunday morning television. Sophia Nelson, Donna Edwards, Yamiche Alcindor, thank you very much.